There actually is an area inside of the After Effects help that deals specifically with effects. Now, when I'm doing consulting or training in the class, anytime I mention this, and I mention that we're going to be going into the help area, the class unitedly sounds like this. Everybody's all grumbly about it. Nobody wants to look in the help. Everybody hates looking into the help. But the help has changed recently, folks. It's not that bad. Once I'm done showing them what I'm about to show you, then usually the class sounds like this. Like that. They're all excited because it's really sweet. So I'm going to go to the help menu, and instead of selecting the regular help area here, and then navigating to find the help area, they created a nice little effect reference area. It's kind of like a shortcut. So I'm going to click Effect Reference, and it jumps me to the area of the help that deals with effects. Now, if I click on the home page over here, you can see that we were just in the regular help, which, by the way, is absolutely an amazing resource. You have this little search area here, and you could search for anything that you need help with. And there's even this drop down here, which lists all of the products that you currently have installed, all the Adobe products. And so from here, we could jump to Encore's help, or Flash's help, or Premiere's help. And we'd be here using the same area, the same interface for those help areas as well. Now we could click down here to go to one of these categories of effects to get their help. First though, you might want to go to the galleries of effects. I mentioned before that the Generate menu generates stuff from scratch, so I can click on the Generate Effects Gallery, and here's the original image, and here's just these little thumbnails of what that same image looks like with these effects from the Generate menu applied. I'm going to click the back arrow here, click it again. Now if I actually want help for the effects in the Generate menu, I can go to the Generate Effects area here from the Effect Reference. Let's click on Generate Effects, and now we have all of the effects here in the Generate Effects submenu. So if we're looking at Cell Pattern Effect, then we can read up on what the different parameters of the Cell Pattern Effect do. Now, sometimes what the definition here in the help is for these different properties is pretty helpful. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a little too technical. But what's really cool is these little note areas where it says note such and such and such and such, note such and such and such and such. That's where the real help comes in. Like this. If you set the disperse value above 1.0, set the layer to best quality to avoid artifacts. So it's not just straight definitions here. There's tips for the help. The help, actually the Adobe Help Viewer, is not to be underestimated, especially as you begin your study of effects in After Effects. So now we're done with all the housekeeping, setting up stuff for effects. Now let's jump into the effects themselves, and we're going to start off at the top of the list by looking at blur effects.